Well, as the title suggests, I have been keeping a secret from you guys. In fact, a couple of them. And I just needed to cross some T's, dot some I's before I shared them. If you are new here, my name is Addie. I'm a mama to 4 little kiddos. And while I spill the tea today, I am going to make a cake for my oldest kiddo who has a birthday tomorrow. If I will go ahead and put the recipe for this in the description. I won't tell you how I'm making it as I talk, but it is definitely one that is highly requested by all the kiddos multiple times a year. So it is a really good dessert. Go ahead, grab some coffee or tea, get some vegetables to chop, fold some laundry, something like that, because we're gonna have a little bit of story time today. And I feel like I need to give you a little bit of background before I get to, the true secrets. So it's gonna be a story. So let's start with about 15 months ago. I had my 4th little kiddo, and he is a horrible sleeper. Still to this day, a horrible sleeper. But when he was like an infant, in order to get myself to wake up to feed him, I would watch shows. And Netflix got a little boring. It kept suggesting some international dramas. Finally, I decided to try one out, and I basically got hooked on Asian dramas, Korean dramas, Chinese dramas, etc. Well, a few months in, I was like, right now I'm kind of rotting my brain. How can I make this a little better? And so I started to learn Korean. You guys know that. You guys have heard me talk about learning Korean before. So I have been learning Korean. Then about 9 months ago, I was laid off and I lost my job, right? So I have still, to this day, been looking for a job. I submit at least 2 applications a week. Not only have I not gotten a job, but I have not even heard back from any job. So the job market here is a little bit tough, but I am enjoying time with the kids and it's okay. Dan had his own business that he was working very part-time so that he could be at home with the kids when I needed to be working. And so what kind of happened is now I'm at home. He turned his side gig, he's a carpenter, into a full-time gig. And he has been able to grow his business and get enough money per month that we are not having to dig into our emergency fund or anything like that. So that has been absolutely fantastic and just a godsend for our family. Now, a little bit more background. When Dan and I, before we even got married, we're on our 10-year wedding anniversary coming up in a month or 2. So we've been married a long time. Before we even got married, we did a 3-month Europe backpacking trip. And then when we were getting ready to have Isabel, our first baby, we did a baby moon, and we spent a month in Spain, Portugal, Belgium, kind of another mini backpacking trip, baby moon style. Then when Isabel turned 1, I at the time quit my job. Dan was playing soccer and he decided to retire. So we decided to go on a world trip, and we took a year off and took Isabel on a world trip. We went to Southeast Asia, we went to Australia and New Zealand, we went to Hawaii, we did 3 to 4 months road tripping the US, we did Canada, we basically traveled the world for a year. And then we have continued to travel with our babies. Traveling is my hobby. I will not spend money on clothes or eating out or any extras really, because I love to travel and that's where I save my money, as you can tell from these stories. But when Juliana was born, we did about a month in Colombia, and maybe a little less than that. And then when Rosemary, after she was born, we did a month traveling through the south of France, Czech Republic, Switzerland, and Scotland. And so basically, now that you have the backstory on all of these things, now that I've been, jobless and just had too much time on my hands, I said to Dan, why don't we take a trip this summer? And he was like, yeah, okay, sounds good. And I was like, well, why don't we just do the whole summer and go to Korea, because I'm learning this language, and so how fun would it be to be able to, you know, get used to it or talk some of it in real life. And he was like, yeah, okay. And I was like, well, maybe we could just do countries we haven't done. Like, let's do Korea, Japan, and China. And to my surprise, Dan has said yes to this trip. So there's a lot of factors at play. Obviously I am unemployed. He is making all of our money right now, and that us going means that he can't work. So we have to use a little of our savings, and basically everything that can be on points is gonna be on points. Because I was unemployed, we had to put a lot of things on credit cards, which is not like obviously great. You don't wanna have a ton of credit card debt, but the good news is we have racked up a lot of points, like at least 500,000 points. So we are gonna be able to fund a lot of this trip, the flights, a lot of hotels on points, which is just gonna be, you know, make this a lot more attainable for us. We're also gonna rent our house out so that we're not paying a mortgage while we're there, and so it's not like any different than our expenses would be at home, that sort of thing. There's a lot of things going into this, but that is one big secret, is we are leaving this summer for a 3-month trip to Asia. And we are super excited. We have been getting the kids ready. It is just been a very exciting time around here. And the kids already are just learning so much about geography, about culture, and it's so cool. It's one of the coolest things about traveling with kids, is just introducing them to that at such a young age. So the other secret comes from this. When I was about Christmas time, I knew that this trip was going to be coming up, and I wanted to put only things that I needed for this big trip on my Christmas list, because I wanted to spend with cash the littlest amount possible. That meant asking for my gifts from like my parents or something to cover this trip. One thing I put on my list was a travel backpack. As a mama who has traveled a lot with kiddos, I prefer traveling with a backpack, because then my hands are free and I have the ability to hold my kiddos' hands and to do anything else I might need to do with my hands free. It's just, you know, very important to have your hands free when you're traveling with kiddos. And so I put this travel bag on my list. Well, my dad did not get me that backpack. And it's a blessing in disguise that he did not, because I went back to researching. It was not the backpack that I was 100% sold on, and it wasn't exactly what I was looking for, but I really couldn't find what I was looking for. So I went back to the drawing board and was doing some research and trying to find this bag that I had in my mind that was gonna be perfect for this trip. And no matter how hard I was looking, I just could not find what I was looking for. And one day it hit me, and I was like, I have literally always wanted to start my own business. I went to school for entrepreneurship. That was my major. But I've just never had an idea that I thought was good enough that could, you know, actually go somewhere and maybe make money. So I was like, wait, I've always said I wanted to do this. Like, what if this is what I should do? Like, what if this should be my business? And so I had to do a little bit more research, talk to a few more people, and figured out that it is a step I'm going to take. So that's the other little secret here, is I am starting my own business. It is going to be called Sojura, and it's a little play on words, because like the type of travel that I like to do is a little bit of an extended kind of, not type A planned. So it's more like a sojourn, and so it's a little play on that word. It's Sojura, and I am going to be designing premium travel accessories for women specifically, and the goal is to provide effortless travel in like a backpack form, if that makes sense. I want to be allowing women to have the freedom when traveling and that effortlessness that makes that aspect of their travel just so much easier. So I am going to be designing. I'm already in the process of designing. I have a team that I have put together to help me designer, and we are in the process now. We are officially starting work on this backpack, which is what it's going to be first. That's going to be the first kind of product. So of course I am going to need your help and support in starting this. The travel accessory market is saturated. There are so many different travel backpacks out there, but I truly feel like I'm going to be providing something unique, and hopefully once you see the design and what's going into this, you will agree. So here's your call to action, or your homework from this video is to please go to sojuratravel.com. You can check it in the description below. And if you are interested, sign up for that mailing list so that you can get the updates and the behind the scenes and everything that I am working on to bring this idea to life that hopefully solves so many solutions for women in particular, for moms, for business people, for you know, young adults, that sort of thing. Anybody who is, you know, making journeys and creating memories while they travel. So those are the two big secrets. We are taking a huge trip and I am starting a business. No, one of the secrets is not that I am pregnant again. Not right now, at least. So yeah, I hope you are, you know, excited maybe to stay on this journey here on this channel as we embark on those sort of things. This channel will kind of probably change to a little bit of travel focus as we embark on this, because this channel is my everyday life, okay? I can't give you meal plans and organizing my house while I am abroad. So it's going to be kind of hopefully really fun content for you, and a lot of packing tips and itinerary suggestions and how to entertain kids on a 20 to 30 plus travel day, 20 to 30 hour plus travel day. And hopefully I can still provide a lot of helpful information for you. So that is kind of, yeah, where this will be going. And that's really all I kind of have to say about that. So let me just kind of finish up this cake. I've like been going so slow as I talk to you, but it's basically a chocolate cake with pudding, chocolate and vanilla pudding, whipped cream, hot fudge, caramel sauce, and toffee. And then I'm actually gonna add some pecans to it today because I just thought that sounded like it would be really good. But yeah, so that is all for today. I will see you guys next time for, I think I will show you a little bit of the behind the scenes of some travel planning, and I will see you next time for that. So take care. I'll see you next time. Bye.